If there's one thing I've learned from years of tending the garden, it's this: the plants that give back the most are the ones you hardly have to fuss over. And if you've been part of the Soil Stories family for a while, you already know I'm all about gardening that works for you, not gardening that drains your time, energy, and back muscles. That's where Perennial Superfoods come in. These are the plants you tuck into the soil once, care for a little, and then they reward you, season after season, without demanding the endless replanting that annuals require. Perennial food plants are nature's long-term investment plan. They build healthier soil, reduce work in the garden, save money on seeds, and keep producing when your annual crops slow down or suffer from weather mood swings. Today I want to walk you through my top 3 favorite perennial superfoods that have earned a permanent place in my garden. These are plants that will feed you year-round or close to it, offering nutrients, versatility, and the kind of resilience gardeners dream about. You know, these aren't exotic, complicated plants. They are down-to-earth, reliable, soil-loving powerhouses that any gardener, from balcony growers to homestead farmers, can add to their patch of earth, really. And honestly, once you see how easily they slide into your routine, you'll wonder why you didn't plant them years ago. Let me tell you, the day I discovered chaya, also known as tree spinach, I felt like I had unlocked a cheat code for year-round greens. Chaya is one of those plants that grows like it's on a mission to feed you, truly. It laughs at heat, dry conditions, and poor soil. While your spinach bolts in the heat and your kale sulks through pests, chaya stands tall, lush, and generous. What I love most is how endlessly it produces. You can harvest the leaves weekly, and the plant will bounce back even fuller. Once it establishes, it becomes a dependable source of nutrient-rich greens throughout the year. And I'm talking serious nutrition. Chaya is richer in protein, iron, and calcium than most commonly grown leafy vegetables. Caring for chaya is almost effortless. Just give it sun, occasional watering, and a little compost now and then, and honestly, it will reward you with more leaves than you know what to do with. It grows into a shrub, so even small gardens can fit 1 or 2 plants. And don't let the mild toxicity warnings scare you. It's perfectly safe once cooked, just like beans and other common foods. But the real magic is how it fits into daily meals. You can simmer it, sauté it, add it to soups, stews, omelets. Anything that calls for greens can benefit from chaya. When the dry season hits and other greens disappear from the garden, chaya soldiers on, filling your plate when you need it most. Every time I walk past mine, I think, this is what food security looks like. When gardeners talk about superfoods, moringa always finds its way to the top of the list, and for good reason. If chaya is the workhorse, moringa is the multi-tool. Leaves, pods, flowers, all edible, all nutritious, all useful. It's like planting a whole pantry in one spot. Moringa grows fast. Once the roots take hold, it shoots upward like it's racing the clouds. And if you live in a warm climate, you can grow it as a small tree or prune it into a manageable bush to make harvesting easier. Either way, you'll have more food than you can believe from a single planting. Let's talk about the leaves because that's where the real treasure lies. Moringa leaves are packed with vitamins A and C, calcium, potassium, and plant protein. Whether you use them fresh, cooked, or dried into powder, they remain one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can grow at home. If you keep your moringa pruned, you'll have tender new leaves almost every week. And if you enjoy crunchy, mildly sweet pods, the young moringa pods, often called drumsticks, are delicious in soups and curries. Even the flowers are edible, making it one of the most versatile perennial crops you can grow. Another thing I appreciate about moringa is its resilience. It tolerates heat, drought, and tough soils, making it a perfect fit for gardeners who want abundant food without constant pampering. It's the kind of plant that asks little and gives much, a true Soil Stories favorite. There's something, deeply satisfying about having onions available at any moment without needing to replant them every season. Perennial onions, whether you grow Egyptian walking onions, shallots or perennial spring onions, are the definition of low maintenance and high reward. They fit beautifully into borders, raised beds, or even tucked between other crops, quietly working in the background to feed you all year round. What makes perennial onions so special is their continual growth cycle. You can harvest the greens whenever you need them, and honestly, they regrow quickly. Depending on the variety, they also produce bulbs that split and multiply, giving you more plants every season. I like to plant them once, and then just, step aside and let them colonize a little corner of the garden. Because they're among the first greens to pop up after cold months and among the last to slow down in heat, perennial onions become your reliable flavor anchor throughout the year. Stir-fries, broths, omelets, roasted vegetables, perennial onions elevate everything. And if you've ever bitten into a freshly grown onion leaf, you already know that store-bought spring onions simply can't compete with that sharp, vibrant, living flavor. Caring for perennial onions is as simple as giving them well-drained soil, sunlight, and occasional compost. They're also great companions for many plants, helping deter pests naturally. It's one of those crops that quietly improves your garden while feeding you endlessly. What ties chaya, moringa, and perennial onions together is not just the fact that they feed you year-round, it's that they create a more resilient, self-sustaining garden. A garden where you don't have to rely solely on annuals or worry about crop failure every time the weather misbehaves. These perennial superfoods build soil health, attract beneficial insects, and develop deep root systems that help your garden thrive even in challenging seasons. And let me tell you from experience, once you start growing perennials like these, your entire relationship with gardening shifts. You begin to see your garden less like a series of seasonal projects and more like a living ecosystem that evolves with you. These plants become reliable partners, always there, always producing, always giving back to you and your soil. If you want a garden that feeds you even when you're too busy, too tired, or maybe just a bit too overwhelmed to tend every seedling, start with these 3. They'll give you greens, flavor, nutrients, and stability not just for one season, but honestly, for many years to come. If this inspired you to grow your own perennial superfoods, I'd really love to hear about it. Drop your experiences in the comments, share your favorite perennials, and let's keep learning together. And if you enjoy garden wisdom that's practical, personal, and rooted in real soil, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Stories and share this guide with a fellow gardener. Let's grow smarter, grow stronger, and grow year-round, together.